Hi everyone, I'm Kate McCauley from Pattern Emporium Sewing Patterns. We design patterns so you can sew what you see in the stores at home. Welcome to another episode of What's in the Pattern. This time we are talking about this adorable little jacket, the Smitten Cropped Jacket. Now if you haven't seen one of our videos before, I sew up a whole bunch of samples in our latest release pattern to show you exactly what's in the pattern. I am so excited to show you this jacket. I have been wanting to do a crop jacket for ages. And the reason is one of our most popular styles is the fit and flare look. So whether it is a dress, a fitted top and the A-line skirt like the Heartlight or the palazzo pants, a crop jacket is an awesome piece to layer with a fit and flare as well as other designs. So I have 8 samples to show you today and I'm quickly going to show you first. Number 1, number 2, number 3, isn't it beautiful? Number 4, number 5, isn't it amazing? It's my favourite. Number 6, and then our very sneaky pattern hack in Boo Spandex. So it's not a stretch pattern, it is for wovens, but I went off book and I made 2 samples in Boo Spandex. Let's go through the basic features of this jacket. It is a cropped jacket. This is the ultra cropped, so it comes up to the waist. And as I said, that is perfect when you want to show off the waist of a fit and flare dress. Then there is another length that is around the hip bone, so it is a little bit longer. You will also find cutting lengths for the body of the jacket in a regular and a tall height. So in actual fact, there are 4 cutting lengths. There is this paneling detail through the front and through the back. There are 2 hembands, this plain hemband and also an elasticated hemband. Again, that gives you that shape that you're looking for at the waist on those outfits. There are 2 different sleeves. This is the feature sleeve of this jacket. So it's nice and full, and then it has this gorgeous gathered cuff just with elastic around the wrist. And ideally you just want it loose at the wrist, but not so loose that it's going to fall off your hand. So just that lovely gather, really wide, so fabulous. Or you can do the traditional button-up shirt sleeve cuff. There is this very simple button-up all-in-one placket. You can add buttons, you can add snaps, or nothing at all. Plus this easy plain collar that sits slightly out from the neck. And there are also optional pockets and pocket flaps if you want to add those. Plus the option to top stitch or not is totally up to you. You can see the top stitching on here, and on this one I've done no top stitching at all. The shape is easy fit, so not oversized. It's not designed to be worn over chunky jumpers, but you can wear light jumpers, light sweaters, t-shirts, etc. underneath. This pattern is designed for woven fabrics, so we're talking linen rayon blends, cotton, flannel, tencel, crepe, shirting fabric, lawn, a lightweight wool, bengaline will work, cotton drill will work, sateen, seersucker, and so many more. When selecting your fabric and selecting your sleeve, you really just have to keep in mind how a gather on your fabric will sit. So if you have a very stiff fabric, I would probably do the other sleeve. I would do the button-up sleeve. Now before I show you the rest of my jackets, pattern mashing. This pattern mashes back to the Meet You There, the Take the Chance, and the all-in button-up shirt. So you can mix and match those sleeves within those patterns. Not the collar though. This collar, whilst the process of sewing it is the same, the actual size of the neckline and the design of the collar is different. All right, let's get started and take a look at these jackets. first jacket up is the one I'm wearing right now. Now this is a linen from East Coast Fabrics, and linen just has crispness and a softness at the same time. So one of my favorite fabrics for this pattern because it just holds this gather so beautifully. So as you can see, I've done the plain hemband and I've just popped buttons and my buttonholes. And I haven't top stitched anything on this one. I've just kept it lovely and plain, mainly because it is slightly see-through, so you really can see those lines through the fabric, and I just thought that was enough. Now, I mentioned to you earlier about how awesome this dress looks with our fit and flare designs. So fit and flare is basically fitted up the top and then flares out over the hips. Isn't this beautiful? It just finishes it off so beautifully without covering up your waist. The whole thing about a fit and flare design is it gives that shape of the curve, like we want the curves. And then if you put on a long jacket down to here, it covers all of that up. So the Smitten jacket, see how you can still see my waistline? The perfect length jacket. I think I forgot to mention this is the ultra crop, so right at the waist, or if you've got a longer body, it might sit slightly above the waist. It really just depends on your body, but as I said, those dimensions are in the pattern itself. And again, I talk about this all the time. You have on a stretchy dress and a little jacket and you're just so comfortable because everything we do, comfort, is our main focus. So what about over an easy oversized fit? This is the seat change, so the jumpsuit. Keeping it nice and cropped, it gives that little bit of balance again. Isn't that great? I thought I had pockets. It's just easy and lovely and still gives you a little bit of shape. Now, if you had on the waist ties or a belt with this one, that would pull you in that little bit. And again, you just get the curves. We want the curves. And then there is the fit and flare of the Vacation Vibe palazzos and a fitted top, which you can use the timeout tank or even the one shoulder tank actually. And there you go. Put together, I still get my waist, easy breezy. It's coordinated quite well with that green. Love these. Gorgeous wide, just easy pants that are again going to be so big again this year. And then we have the fabulous monochrome of the coastal side split skirt. And of course this is going to look gorgeous. And our little jacket. Love it, love it. And you can totally layer it up. A cropped jacket looks great with a little bit longer tank underneath. You don't have to have everything the same length. Just layer it up, play around, and just have fun. This is another of our fit and flare dresses. So this is the A-line option from the tank dress, 3 ways. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Awesome little work number as well, this outfit. And for those wanting to know whether this will work with our tiered dress, which is the Field of Dreams dress. Gorgeous, just really relaxed, easy breezy, all those tiers. Love it. Next up we have the Smitten jacket in rayon. Now this is the go-to fit and flare dress. Just lovely basic sleeveless dress. And this is the fabulously adorable little jacket. This fabric is from Spotlight, and as I said, it is rayon. It has the elasticated cuff. Isn't that gorgeous? And it just really soft, but gives that statement at the wrist. And then it also has the elasticated, can you see that? On the hemline. So when I cross it over, see how it brings it in just that little bit. So just really soft, nipping in at the waist. The panels, and I've just single top stitched this one, and I have a confession, they're stuck on. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go with them, but I think the buttons work. So that again is the ultra cropped length. Absolutely love it. It's just easy, like I keep saying all the time, it's just easy, relaxed, throw on 2 pieces. You could pop the long sleeve version of the go-to dress under here, or the short sleeve, whatever works for you. And again, just easy fit. You can see it's just past my shoulders. Relaxed. Fabulous. With the heartstrings dress. Really lovely, really easy. And just that little statement piece if you just wanted to have something quite neutral underneath. This next jacket is quite a heavy linen. It actually has this awesome vintage wash on it, so it's very faded. I got this one from East Coast Fabrics in Australia, and it is a lot thicker than the white one. Now this is the cropped length, so not the ultra cropped, but the cropped. So it sits round about my hip bone. And you can see it has that longer, just that kind of quintessential sort of denim jacket, but without that rigidness of a denim jacket. You can make it in denim if you wanted to. So on this one, I have done the button-up cuff. So you can see our little opening here, and then buttons up. I have done a single top stitch on this one, but wide. I used my 1/4 inch foot all the way around. I don't know if you can see that, to top stitch all the way around on this one. I've used these gorgeous buttons on the front. Now it is designed for a 15mm button, so 5/8 of an inch, but you can go larger or smaller. It's your jacket. I just have this philosophy that it's your jacket, you do what you want. Here's what works, but play outside the lines, because that is what makes it fun at the end of the day. So this is with the timeout tank. Again, you can pop a t-shirt, totally up to you. And you can see that that does sit a lot longer. So there's my natural waist there. And again, the plain waistband. I know it's a little bit hard to see in black. This one is the perfect weekend casual jacket. And if you wanted to dress it up a little bit with layers, this is the Heartlight skirt, and again, the timeout tank, and I've just layered it so the tank sits down here, just so you get that lovely movement of the eye. Gorgeous work outfit. Again, we have the heartstrings fit and flare with this fabulous back. And you can see how it does sit that little bit lower with this one. So you can see here, not as much shaping and curves showing through the waist. It will be like up here. But still, awesome jacket with this style of dress. This is the Going Places. It's a dress, but I've cropped it into a top. And this is the Free Spirit skirt, which is our woven skirt with that awesome split. And the cropped jacket to the hip over the top. It really is lovely and just easy. Works perfectly. Next, we have this beautiful shot of colour. This is a linen viscose from Dahlia, and it is beautiful. Now, I've done a special little trick on the sleeve. If you find that you don't have wide enough elastic, so it uses a 4 centimetre, 1.5 inch elastic in the cuff, I give you some options in the tutorial what you can do instead, and this is one of them. I've used 12mm elastic 2 rows to create the same effect, and then the elasticated hemline, and it's just gorgeous. It's just this lovely little shot of colour that is a real pick-me-up. Really, really lovely with so many different things. And again, this is the ultra cropped length. You can team it back with something just as bright and bold. And again, this is the heartstrings dress. That is gorgeous, gorgeous statement. Or keep it pared back and simple with one of our straight dresses. This is the Going Place dress. This particular dress has a fit and flare and a straight option. But you can see all the curves. I love it. I have been hoarding this next fabric for ages to try and find the perfect pattern. Absolutely love this. This is a linen from Tessuti. It is just such beautiful quality when you buy fabrics from there. It has the plain cuff, so the button-up cuff. I've done little snaps. I've done double top stitching. Now for this top stitching, I've actually used a couple of different feet. For the narrow one, I used the blind hem that I talk about in the tutorial, and then I used 1/4 inch foot as well. It does take a lot of swapping backwards and forwards, so I sewed all the panels first and then top stitched them all at once. So first all of them with the blind hem and then all of them with 1/4 inch, and then sewed the next step and just went through it. So it did take me a considerable amount of time, but what you get is perfectly neat top stitching. My top stitching, I have this thing, when I'm sewing top stitching, I kind of get distracted. So sometimes you can see wonky seams. You won't get that with this. They're all, like you can see here, look how beautifully straight and neat they are. I can hardly believe it myself. So the jacket. So this has the elasticated hem, which is a bit tricky to see with this fabric, but you can see there. See how it's nipped in to my waist? And then I have the pocket flap and the pocket, and I've actually put a stud on it, but I actually haven't put the stud on the pocket yet because I forgot. And I love the croppedness of it because you can just layer it up with different things. This would look great with a skirt underneath and layered over the top. You could put a straight skirt and do that layering thing. And this would look great with the palazzo pants as well. So this is with the palazzo pants. So you can layer it over the top or tuck this layer in. Totally up to you how you wear it, but it has that same fit and flare as the dresses. So if you wear a fitted top and then you have the flared bottom that's nipped in at the waist, it gives that same effect. And this is the perfect jacket to top it off with. So even if you did want to do up one of the buttons, you could do that too. I prefer it open. Just love it. And then layered with the side split skirt. And with the go-to fit and flare skirt. So again, fitted at the waist and flares out at the hem. And of course, playing around with print on print is always going to be fun. This is, again, the go-to dress, but it has the little cap sleeve. And in the shorter length, I think I need a t-shirt in this. That would look awesome. And simplify it a lot with just some denim jeans and to blend in the colours in the jacket. I love that. Next we have the Field of Dreams dress. So the short one in linen. And this one is the cropped length, so the longer of the two at my hips. It has the elastic through the hemband, so it does nip it in a little bit. And then the elastic cuff just gives that really lovely, slightly bigger sleeve. No buttons on this one. It already had the statement buttons down the dress, I thought. And just that casual ease to it. This is a rayon from East Coast Fabrics again. Really lovely, easy breezy, just lovely neutral colours. And crazy print on print. Here it is, again with the Field of Dreams, but this one is the longer one with the very long tiers. And you can see it's just easy breezy, lovely and casual, which is our vibe. Another Going Places dress, the straight one. And just a lovely casual option on top. And of course, it is going to look great paired back with jeans. And it's just that lovely length that it hits right at the top of my jeans. And then with a little tank underneath. This is the one shoulder tank. Just a really lovely, easy weekend look. Let's take a look at my two pattern hacks. Now, it is important to note that these are only pattern hacks. This is a woven pattern. So in the tutorial, I don't provide information on sewing knits. So some experience with sewing knits is required. I do, however, outline exactly which seams I trim for an overlocker and where. This is made out of Boo Spandex. Boo Design is a swimwear company here in Australia, and the spandex that they have is beautiful. It is such a beautiful quality. It has a lot of body, so it holds up pretty well in this design, as you can see. And I think the reason that this fabric works is because it has body. It has that stability. I probably wouldn't do this in like a really soft stretch fabric. Scuba would probably work. You would want to top stitch the seams. I usually find that with any garment I may make in scuba, I like to top stitch the seams. And you could probably do it in ponte too, just not a really floppy, stretchy ponte. So we always say pick the ones with rayon. Maybe this time pick the ones without rayon, that they would work just because they have that lovely structure. So this is how it ended up in Boo Spandex. You can just see I top stitched everything. Doubles top stitch. Actually, I cover stitched it. So I overlocked it and then cover stitched. In the tutorial, you will find information on which seams I trimmed. If you're going to sew this on a sewing machine, you won't need to trim any of the seams. But if you're going to just sew it on your overlocker and your cover stitch machine, you do need to trim, because otherwise your seam allowance will end up too wide. You can either trim the pattern or you can trim as you sew. But I've marked exactly which pieces I trimmed, exactly which edges I trimmed, because it wasn't all the edges and it wasn't all the pieces. I would probably say you would need a little bit of experience with sewing knit fabrics to sew this in a knit fabric. But I think it turned out beautifully. So nips me in. It's got the gathered at the waist and the gathered at the cuff. And again, it's with the one shoulder tank. My favourite jeans. Now look how beautifully this pairs back with the one shoulder tank and the palazzo pants. Isn't that gorgeous? Just so stylish. Now this last one, again, I've used a Boo Spandex, but I've used their new mesh in the sleeves. Isn't that adorable? So you have the gathered cuff and the sheer of the sleeve, this awesome snake print, the gathered hemband, nips it in at the waist. So stylish and gorgeously understated and chic. And it's swim fabric. I just love that. And again, paired back with jeans, just to bring it down a little bit, to make it just that little bit more casual. So that is all of them. What do you think? Have you chosen a favourite? I would love to know. So we are having a giveaway during our pattern release period. All you need to do is comment below and tell me which was your favourite jacket or which was your favourite outfit. And you will go in the draw to win one of the Smitten Jacket patterns. It will be drawn on Thursday in our Facebook group. From tomorrow, you can see our tester photos in our Facebook group, and you'll see the jacket in all different sizes and style aesthetics and different fabrics. And then get ready for the pattern release on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. You can get 15% off this pattern and a couple of others that coordinate with it. That runs from Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and finishes on Monday at noon, again Australian Eastern Standard Time. So I can't wait to see what you think of this jacket. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the group.